Hi friends, how are you? Here's keeping up with my short segment about doing artists or bands who have been accused of plagiarism. Jimmy Page, come on down, it's your turn. Down by Blackwater Side is a traditional folk song. The origin is unknown, but it is probably taken from the River Blackwater in Northern Ireland. The author is unknown. And the theme is about a man who promises to marry a maid in order to have sex with her, and then he tells her he won't marry her because she had premarital sex. Anne Briggs recorded a version. She also taught it to Bert Jansch, who added complexity to the guitar part. Jansch recorded it in '66 as Blackwater Side on his album Jack Orion. It was Jansch's version that Jimmy Page borrowed for his song Black Mountainside, which is track 2 on the second side of Led Zeppelin's debut album in '69. Page's version was instrumental. Al Stewart taught it to Page, who was a session guitarist on Stewart's debut album. Page played it with an exotic tuning on acoustic guitar tuned D-A-D-G-A-D, Dadgad, the tuning he used for White Summer with the Yardbirds. Let's have a look at Bert Jansch and see if you think it's similar or not so much. I think it's pretty close. It might be in a slightly different key. Sure sounds like the same song though. Come on, where are we going? Here you go. There's Mr. Jansch. So getting back to Black Mountain Side, this one was featured with a tabla, a most un-Irish sounding drum. The track was now Arabic sounding, and Page and Plant journeyed to Morocco later and wrote Kashmir. So it wasn't as if Page nicked the song from Jansch, but he could have given Bert credit for helping to transform the song into what it became. There were no legal battles. Jansch said, "More power to you, Jimmy." Page continued to borrow from earlier folk and Delta blues names all throughout his storied career. These include Taurus by Spirit, somehow was used on Stairway to Heaven, so I'm told. Joan Baez, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. Jake Holmes, I'm Confused, became Dazed and Confused. Muddy Waters, You Need Love, became Whole Lotta Love. Willie Dixon's You Shook Me and I Can't Quit You, Baby. But for those he was credited. When the Levee Breaks came from Memphis Minnie. The Lemon Song came from Robert Johnson via Howlin' Wolf's Killin' Floor. Bring It On Home was a Sonny Boy Williamson song, also by Willie Dixon. Since I've Been Loving You was a Moby Grape song called Never. Bronny Your Stomp is Bert Jansch's The Wagoner's Lad. Jackie McShee of Pentangle was particularly pissed about that one. Hats Off to Roy Harper is taken from Bucka White's Shake 'Em On Down. In My Time of Dying was from Blind Willie Johnson, but was in the public domain when used by Bob Dylan. Boogie with Stu was a tribute to the Rolling Stones' secret piano man, Ian Stewart. It was taken from Richie Valiant's Oh My Head, But this song was credited to Ritchie Valens' mom to get her some royalties, as her son had died in the famous plane crash that also took Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper. So did Led Zeppelin get rich off of other people's work? Yes, that's undeniable. But they also made the works much more famous, adding to the overall palette of musical artists. Only sue those who are successful, or so it's said. Oh, and I'm not saying that Mr. Jansch here wasn't successful. In folk circles, he was considered as important as Led Zeppelin was in the heavier metal scene later. So yes, Black Mountain Side, right? Oh well, what are you gonna do? Sit back and enjoy it. Mr. Jansch has passed away. And Jimmy Page is still kicking. Oh, he's had a lot of lawsuits levied against him. Little pun there, did you catch that? Many of which were settled out of court. But, I don't know, he was a session artist. For a long time, he was paid to play like other people. Play along on their songs. He just brought that along with him to the Yardbirds and later to Led Zeppelin. And Led Zeppelin happened to become the biggest, baddest band in the world. And if the people who should have been credited with some of that music wanted some money, or maybe their families, I think they're due.